in Brooklyn. Folks, we are live as I make last minute adjustments to the screen so we get Rachel more centered in the video. Uh Welcome to Gamers Health. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as you will find every Saturday night, is my lovely wife, Rach.
How you doing?
And just to the left of Rach, just past her, on her cat tree, is our
Hi,
little
Orange.
girl
Yeah.
Sadie. So at some point
Yeah,
she
she turned around so that she could, well, be listening anyway.
yes, at some point she may decide
To
to
walk across.
walk across the
Hmm.
screen. So Don chilling with a rum and coke and orange sherbet ice cream. How's that for a
Oh,
combo?
yeah.
Oh, that's my that's a good one. I guess you could almost make a root beer float with a little rum. That could
Mm.
be that could be spicy too. Not too bad, not too shabby. So, for those following along at home, if you've been watching any of the recent live streams or any of the recent videos here on Tenkar's Tavern, I have not been home. But we have been up in the Poconos.
Hmm.
We got up there on Tuesday, and we were gonna come home yesterday. And we were talking with my mother. And my mother's like, it's going to be in the 60s tomorrow. I'm like, no, it's not. She goes, yeah. I go, oh, well, then maybe we'll reconsider.
Yeah, we
And
did.
and we did. We reconsidered. We stayed the extra day, and I love getting away to the Poconos. It is really a reboot, but there are other ways you can do reboots that are local. We're going to talk about that probably later, but we also specifically set this week aside as a getaway week. So again, if you follow along at home, you know that between Rach and I, we have regular specialists that take care of our different issues, and everything's been going pretty good for us. But it does mean that there's a frequency of doctors, and that an overstatement.
All right, there's a certain schedule that we have with our providers, and my schedule is going to be ramping up with radiation and everything. So
That's right.
we decided to take this week to get away because we knew that once I see the medical oncologists on Tuesday, that things would really be going pretty quick from there. Like to get that started,
Yeah.
and probably get on like the other medication that they will probably give me. I don't know what it will be quite yet. We will find out Tuesday, but yeah, so we thought, well, we have a free week. There's no doctor's appointment. Let's get away.
Let's get away.
And yeah, so that's pretty much what we did. And
It was really good.
yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves.
Of course, we found out.
Wasn't a shortage of anything to do.
Oh no, and that's what the only shortage was daylight.
Yes,
Right?
that's true.
Because we're used to being up there in late spring and summer, and when you're up there and it's getting dark at 7 or 8, you got all this time. But when it's getting dark at 4:30, your day's a lot shorter. So Tom is in the house. He had a Theraflu and a slice of pie.
Theraflu. I'm sorry, you're sick.
Yeah, apparently he being the bus. I guess matron would be the wrong word, but
The bus driver.
the bus driver. He's cutting down with a bit of
Aw,
a cold.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, never fun. Oh, he's like saying, but some Canadian whiskey that self-identifies as a hot toddy.
Mmm. Hot toddies are yum.
So now something that we're gonna have to do probably next week is we're gonna have to make our first batch of wine. We do have a nice. We ordered the white wine grapes. We'll probably put that up, get that going. So it'll be nice and aged when Rach is done with her radiation, and she'll be able to partake in it. Rach is like, I don't know, and it'll be ready for Christmas.
Yeah, that'll be nice because the ladies love the white
They love the
wine.
white wine. So,
Mhm.
Tom, I have a cold that self-identifies as the Rona. Oh, ew. No, that ain't fun. Give it back, man.
Or
Return
she
that.
just a wannabe Rona.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Oh, God, had it had it twice. Neither time
Hmm.
was nice, but neither time was. I've had worse flus.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that it lingers. It lingers. That's the issue there. So, I said we had a good time in the Poconos. Our dog Donka, the miniature dachshund, loves the Poconos because she loves her walks up there because she gets to smell everything. Although today she kept on stopping and eating stuff, and I was like,
Like leaves and that
yeah,
kind of thing.
it was like pine needles for some
Pine
reason.
needles.
Yeah, for some reason she's
What
like,
is she expecting from that?
I don't know, but this is like, it's like, dog, you've been coming up here your whole life. Now you want pine needles?
Pine needles are fabulous all of a sudden.
It's like, what the heck? Tammy, okay, I'm gonna out him. He has the slightest cold in the world. He does not have the big Rona. Oh my goodness. Tom!
Well, the Rona ain't all that anymore, you know.
This Tammy is so unsympathetic. Ach, du lieber meine Güte. Oh, my dear God in heaven, for the non-German speakers out there, you can't make this stuff up. So when we were away, we left our cat behind. We put the dog because uh, our cat hasn't traveled, and I don't know how well she would travel since the first day we brought her
Right.
in
We don't want to
was
traumatize her because every time that we've taken
had
her somewhere, it's
it's been
been
the
to the
vet.
vet. And it's
Yeah,
like, we need to do something to help, with that. But I don't know where to bring a cat that's fun. You
yeah.
know?
I mean, like with
With the
Donka.
dog, you say, yeah, we're going to the park. And they're like so happy. I
Yeah,
don't think she'd dig the
yeah.
park
It's like
scene.
with Donka, she used to
Huh.
panic when she got into the car.
Hmm.
She did not travel well, and we took her to the Poconos, and she'd be the whole. And then I had the smart idea of, you know what? Let's just take her for a ride on one of the back roads and just let her look, observe, and then windowed. And all of a sudden, she went from hating rides to, we're going in the car, and she forgets the handful of times now that she has to go to the vet, which I think is,
Yeah, she kind of realizes that late.
yeah, so.
Like 2 blocks away from it.
Uh oh, we've got a stalker, Rach.
Do we?
Yes,
Who is the stalker?
look who's the stalker.
Oh.
So that's our niece.
Yay.
So the topic for tonight was actually Shannon's idea. So she may pop in later.
What
Um,
did you put down as the topic? I couldn't.
Dealing with family issues during the holidays. But really,
Ah, okay.
and the reason why we're saying during the holidays is because, um,
I guess this is where you don't have any other choice generally
yes,
but to be
can,
together.
yeah,
Unless it's like gotten to the point where like everybody has just cut off, like and in some situations it has. So,
yeah. So, like one of the things with the holidays is that it generally brings together large groups, right? And you bring in different parts of the family, and maybe you bring in parts of the family that you don't normally socialize with. The worst thing, and
or family members who have heard only one side of,
yeah,
different issues that come up in families.
right. But and Tammy, please don't take offense when I say this.
Timmy.
Yes, I'm going to say something.
Uh-oh.
All right. My family is full of teachers, okay, or people that are in education. To count it down, my mother's cousins Carl and Barbara were both school teachers
In New York City, right?
in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um, my mother's cousin Joan is a recently retired
Teacher
teacher,
from New Jersey.
the Chelsea.
And
My sister works as a tutor on the
yes,
college level. Um, Even my mother uh, did a preschool and taught art classes for a while.
yes.
So there's a
Then you have the social worker,
yeah.
like
But here's the thing that, and now this is my experience, and this carries over to. I have friends that have parents that are teachers, and there seems to be a common thread. When I might say a common thread, it doesn't apply to all, but it is more common amongst the educators than it is the general populace. Is that, hey, I'm a teacher, I teach people, therefore I know, maybe not everything, but they will come across as an expert on damn near everything. Um, Again, that's not all. It's just a greater percentage than the general populace, in my opinion and my personal experience. Um,
and then there's also family life and just people are people, and things that they hear or like maybe we could put like some issues that might create
yes.
weirdness around you know when you have everybody together, like uh certain notions about child rearing and how you might deal with
Oh, it always comes up with
like a child
teachers.
with disability or um someone in the family who has a chemical dependency problem, a family member who might have mental illness. These are not far-fetched scenarios. These are scenarios that have probably touched us all. We
Yeah.
all, I speak for myself, and just you know, having been a social worker in addiction and mental health for so long, those are usually the two common denominators, and when we see our family member struggling with something, um, like we all have our opinions, right? Opinions
Right.
are like assholes. Everybody has one. So they're all going to be throwing the opinion at you. And, as that person, either with the disability or, you know, somebody who's caring for that person, somebody who's like very close to that person, sometimes there's a lot of, we feel criticized, just a lot of feelings can come up around that, and
Yeah.
um, a
And
lot of dynamics can start to surface.
it's not even to even go beyond just that. There are little power struggles that can happen at these family gatherings because so and so
Who
wants,
gets to talk?
who gets to talk, who gets the attention. Um,
Whose opinion does it appear that the family trusts? And then
ex-
it's like,
ex-
oh,
exactly.
how could you not think that I have the answer?
So, I mean, and you might not even realize you are oblivious to it because you're enjoying the conversation or whatever, but then you don't realize that cousin A is pissed off at cousin B because cousin B is talking too much and therefore stealing the attention of the sibling of cousin A who should be paying more attention to their sibling than listening to a cousin.
Oh, so just a weird that weird dynamic.
There's this weird dynamic. This stuff comes up because
Just a weird dynamic that surfaces during the interaction.
right,
And a
because
certain insecurity that somebody might have, or okay.
yeah, and that's family gatherings pull people together, and they're your family, right? You love them. They're blood, or even if they're not blood, they are your family. You love them, but they also piss you off.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, we've all gone through it, and we all say, "Man, if I wasn't related to so and so, I tell them." But guess what? You did right by not saying what you probably wanted to say. Okay.
Right, there's a way of
There's a way of
feedback, and
right,
generally it's not at the top of your lungs in front of everybody in a family.
right, and generally it's not. Listen, there was uh when I went through basic management officers course, BMOC as it was called, back in 2002, and I was being trained to be a sergeant. The most telling advice, information. It wasn't procedures. It wasn't what you got to do here. It wasn't paperwork. It was praise in public, but reprimand in private.
Yes.
Okay. And people forget that. People get worked up. People get excited, right? And a lot of times, people always also figure, it's family. I can say this in front of family. But when you criticize people publicly, all right, they get defensive.
Hmm.
Even if you feel they shouldn't. Oh, it's only honest criticism. Oh, I'm only
I'm just giving constructive
criticism.
criticism.
And you know, Tammy, no offense taken, thick skin. Just saying new teachers get every cold flu going around their first few times
Oh.
and then have a stronger immune system later. I'm not saying that. Listen, I was a cop, okay? 20 years, as a cop dealing with the public, after a while, you just stop getting sick, right? Because
Yeah.
you've been exposed to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, 20 years as a cop,
Or if you do, you just keep going generally because
right.
you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
But see, the thing is, as a police officer, we are our biggest tool, in my opinion, was voluntary compliance. Was me talking you into a pair of cuffs as opposed to me wrestling with you to put you in a pair of cuffs, right? Voluntary compliance. So you learn how to converse with people, how to listen to what might be triggers and avoid triggers. When you're a teacher, you're always dealing with subordinates. You're always dealing with
Oh, so
children,
you're saying that they might interact with
people
people like
differently.
in a one up.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because
Imbalance.
that's the environment that you are in. Now, I'm not saying there aren't cops that do that. There certainly are, but an effective cop recognizes that danger and steps back from it. And sure, you can turn on the authority when needed, but you're better off in most circumstances being on an equal par.
Right.
Like I used to explain to my cops when I was a sergeant on patrol. I was like, listen, I'm your boss out on the street, but I'm not your boss like I'm your parent. I'm your boss because I'm your older sibling. Our parents died in a horrible car crash, and now I have custody of you, and I'm 18 and you're 14, and you think you know everything, and I don't know everything because I'm fucking 18. The lieutenant is our uncle who wants nothing to do with us, but will step in and if there's a power struggle. So don't call our uncle. And the commanding officer, I go, that's grandpa. Okay? And grandpa has the belt and doesn't fear using it on an 18-year-old or a 14-year-old. So let's keep them out of it. Let's handle it amongst ourselves. There's something similar that you have to deal with, even your family, even if you're an elder talking to a younger, because that family dynamic, which can help things, can also ruin things.
Right. And so just imbalances in general. It doesn't have to be the teacher, you know, but just imbalances of like who has what knowledge about the family situations, and
Mhm.
what information they give or don't give to other family members where like sometimes the situation can be really rough when it's like um you learn certain things that have been going on in the family
Right.
or and like you're like, oh well, how can I help with that? And the person's like, oh, there's nothing going on, or like that constipated like perfection. No, we're just the perfect family, and it that doesn't help anything either.
Right.
and it's always difficult to be like, okay, yeah, we're not going to talk about these things at gatherings, but it might be that at holiday time that we do
Well,
have a need to even have conversations with like other family members, about situations that they might be going through.
I
Because
think
they might be experiencing like symptoms more. Their addiction might be more out of control, or their mental health. They might be the person might be more symptomatic around the holidays. But then, it's like you can't,
well, and here's the
gather
thing.
together and hide it.
Here's the other thing too, right? Sometimes we only gather with certain relatives or certain people
at holidays.
Yeah. So there's this pressure that, oh my God, I know how to fix 10 car, and I'm going to fix 10 car, but I got to do it tomorrow,
right?
Because I've only got that one chance to do it.
Yeah, and the critiquing well, I'm going to see that one, and I'm just going to say, and even like, especially with parents that are raising like teens or young kids, oh, well, I think you shouldn't be doing it that way, or whatever, bringing things like that, like feeling that pressure to fix, or even, it's always awkward when people don't have any information or accurate information.
They got partial stories.
Right. When nothing really adds up, and you're just like, how well do I really know this person? What is going on?
Yeah. Now Tammy has some.
Yeah.
When my mom used to come to these holidays, and she has histrionic personality disorder.
Oh.
I had to have a code word with my children so we could derail any conversation that might go south.
Oh, sure.
And that's not bad.
That's a great strategy.
You can often listen. People don't have to have a personality disorder for you to know that when they come to the family gatherings, they're the unfiltered one, right? It's like, oh shit, so and so is. You already know where they're going to go, and yes, changing the course of the conversation is certainly a way to do it, because and some of them I've seen it in my own family. Okay, some stir shit because they like to see the mess that happens. I'm not going to name names, but somebody in my family was really good at it.
Right, or the bad kid would be the worst kid ever.
It wasn't a kid though; it was an adult.
Oh.
But there are certain people that they could just push the button of, and they knew it, and they would push it in the most relaxed way, but they knew how to get the conversation going to the point where it was like bing, and then it's like the ever ready bunny on steroids goes off, and
right,
and it's
because
like, I don't know why you're so upset, and because the rest of the family only sees the end result. You don't see what wound somebody up. If you know you have somebody, the person no longer does that. But if you know you have somebody in the family that does that,
I'm gonna be sitting there going, "Who is it?
Yeah, how is it? Tell me how it is."
After the show,
you won't be surprised.
No,
but so if you know what will likely happen, you can prep yourself for it. Now, here's the other thing, and this is where it gets, I don't know, personally dangerous for you, right? Because what if you know that somebody that's coming over is going to give you unwanted advice? Because whatever's going on in your life, the family talks about a little bit, right? And now oh, so and so has already done this in the past. They're going to come and they're going to tell me everything that I've done wrong. I've had it happen to me.
Yeah.
My mother's cousin, Barbara, God bless her, she's, and not in a good place right now, and I still love her. But, I mean, I was not 30, and I just ended a serious relationship, and Barbara, nice enough to tell me, and it wasn't a big family gathering. Nice enough to tell me the reason. Oh, the reason why it didn't work is you talk too much. You don't let others get a word in edgewise. I'm like, what are you talking? And just laced into me about how everything was me and my fault. She's also the one that used to complain that I uh,
Monopolized.
monopolized family gatherings because I would tell retail stories. Later on, I would tell law enforcement stories. And her brother wanted to hear this stuff.
Yeah, he was really
He was
into it.
really
And
into
she
it.
was very insecure, I guess, in that relationship. Like
Yeah.
that was like her object of attachment,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be over stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I there was a point where I just wanted to avoid
Yeah.
Barbara, you know.
And then there's other situations too, like that we find ourselves in with um our guy, like um cutoffs, and if somebody shuts down and kind of is like doing the silent thing, or
Yes.
like withholding their um withholding themselves from you, you know um and of course it's always like based off of other family things, like, oh, well, he gave us certain feedback about, well, I think that this needs to happen and that needs to happen and this needs to happen, with another family member. And then we pointed out certain reasons why it's not appropriate to dictate to other people. You can lay out options for somebody and see what they'll take, but you can't necessarily tell someone exactly what to do, when to do it, and exert certain types of control that aren't quite realistic.
Right.
And, so we kind of gave that feedback, and, so our guy kind of, he's like, well, how dare you? He still communicates with me, but, he's holding a grudge.
He's certainly holding a
Yeah.
grudge. And that, you know what? You can bash your head against the wall or you can let them work it out. And I can't fix it. It's not in my power to fix it. I can just be ready when they're ready. By the way, somebody is in the chat.
Who dat?
Who dat? Alice. Hi guys, Lala Whittle.
Oh my gosh!
You don't know her screen name, but I do. So
I know Lala.
Okay, I'm like,
I went, oh my god. Good to see you, hear you.
Tammy, in one of my public schools, we would say over the intercom, has the ski team arrived from wherever at a town, so does not have a ski team, alerted staff that there was a situation.
Oh, that's yeah, code words.
Yeah. So we had a code word in my unit when we were doing narcotics enforcement and quality of life, and the code word was hot lunch. So if you said, hey, after this, let's go out for a hot lunch.
Yeah, we had a code word. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So the code word was that you spotted a gun. So hot lunch for us was a gun. And if you heard that, because you would say it very nonchalantly, but it allowed your partner, because once you got a gun involved in the situation, shit can hit the fan. So that was our code word. A lot of people use these code words in these different situations. Always good to have. One that I use in the family, I'm not going to blow up a secret. I've been using it for over 25 years. And my son was the first one I used it with. I refer to my firearm as jewelry. And it was always because I was like, going out and it's supposed to be covered because I'm off duty, and maybe my shirt rode up. And instead of Chris telling me, Dad, your gun's showing, he would say, you got to cover your jewelry. Never, it's a nice, simple way to alert me.
Hide your chain.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay. And there I am, making sure my shirt's coming
Yeah.
out a bit.
We had at work, in one of my first jobs, we had like strawberries. You'd somehow work strawberries into a sentence if you felt like somebody was like acting out and unstable and they needed to have 911 called for them and just to like keep them under control, like in the office. Later on we got like alarms and stuff. But it's just interesting words to kind of work in. Strawberries. I was like, okay, strawberries means you don't feel safe in the office with a person.
Are we gonna get strawberry shortcake for
Then it just
dessert?
became hit your panic button.
Nice.
And it was funny because like if you hit the panic button, like I never did it. I never had to do it by God's grace with a patient in the office. But just I guess something malfunctioned, somebody would hit it with their knee. Like especially the guys, like the bigger guys, like they'd hit it with their knee, and then it'd be here, boom, 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 all over the front. It's crazy.
Crazy, go nuts! I tell you this. So, now something that you can do, if
Hey, we need alarms.
yeah, it's like
we need panic buttons for our family.
Hold on.
The family I grew up in, yeah, we needed panic buttons.
Listen, if you can, if the person is receptive, you call them, on the phone before the gathering. You're talking to them and go, hey, by the way, let's avoid talking about X this time. Okay? Let's. Oh, but I have all these great ideas. You know what? You have these great ideas. Well, you can talk to so and so by phone, but it's not appropriate for the family gathering. It's not appropriate for the holiday because, let's be honest, and this applies to probably all of us. There are times that we have an idea that it's like, oh man, it's so amazing. I just got to get it out, and it could be, I got a solution to so and so's problem. I just got to do this
but there's
video.
Some people that are just like, I have to,
and they can't stop. Here's the thing: if you approach them prior, right, and they're like, okay, I won't, and they're still going to do it, at least you've taken the upper hand in it.
Hi.
Hey, Swiss.
Fence. I don't know. I'll just put it over here for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's my sister in the background, but you can't see her.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No worries. They're allowed to know Natalie lives.
This is for you, Rachel.
Oh, Natalie, thank you. Thank you so much. It looks beautiful.
Bye.
Take care. I didn't know you were coming. I thought we were going to have for tomorrow, too.
Plans are always changing. Go figure that one out. All right. So, I guess we won't. I guess that chair will remain unoccupied for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. I think she's signed out. I don't think I see her Red H anymore.
Well, she might pop back in.
And mommy's picking her up.
Well, she was probably watching on her phone.
Yeah.
She's
like, oh man, they got boring. They totally screwed up my topic.
So.
Damn social workers.
TXG. I just hate this time of year.
Oh, it's a rough time.
Listen, and I find that the bigger the gathering, the more dreadful it can be, because it's just more grenades that can be tossed. Right? When it's a smaller gathering, you have more control over it. When it's a larger gathering, it's much less controlled.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing something different this year at Thanksgiving. It's just going to be a pretty...
it's going to be
just a calm, like dinner out, maybe like any other day, but,
us and my parents. So,
yeah.
Basically the extended family unit here, because my sister
because there's
and her family
family members on the other side.
Yeah,
they want to. Yes, they want to. Need to visit with them. This year, and yeah, so like We will miss them
Yeah,
dearly.
But we'll have them
But
Christmas and
you
Christmas
know,
Eve.
we'll make a fun Thanksgiving, you
Yeah.
know, and have it be like, you know,
If only
so
the
something maybe pampering, or some sort of like place where we don't usually go, or
Yeah.
some type of meal that we don't usually have.
Yeah.
Your mom was talking about hibachi.
Oh, hey, hibachi is fine.
Somebody else recommended to me like a casino. You
Yeah,
know,
there's
like,
no, cause
like
no,
not
good-
to just go gambling in a casino. No,
no, I know, but there's no
I
good
mean, just
casinos around here.
yeah,
No.
yeah. We'd have to go to back to the Poconos or up to
Yeah.
Connecticut for the Foxwoods
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then you gotta find
Yeah.
babysitters for your pets and all that.
Yeah, it's a lot to
So,
do.
stuff.
But
Tammy.
we'll find something good.
Yeah, TXG.
Maybe fugo de chao.
It makes these potentially wonderful family times stressful. I haven't
Yeah.
had her for a holiday for a few years, and it's been nice. She's alive. She just doesn't drive 3 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, Tom, I've never had the mother-in-law for a family gathering.
Oh.
Lala, in East Asian family gatherings, body shaming is like talking about the weather. How's my sister? Elder family member's first response. She's so fat now.
Oh.
When she's literally still a size 6.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
I remember those, and it's just like, oh, your face is, you have such a pretty face, and your hair, oh. And then it's like, yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Go F yourself. Sit and rotate. No,
If you only lost.
Yeah. I listen. You want the comments of, oh, did you lose weight? But you don't like your face looks fuller. Okay.
Oh, I don't think I heard that one.
Oh, I got. Your face looks fuller. So what are you telling me? That was Barbara, actually. So.
Oh no!
And yeah,
she's too much.
And yes, yes. Do you hold on to this stuff? Certainly.
Oh yeah.
And that's human. Listen, you can to err is human, to forgive is divine, right? You can forgive, but you don't need to forget. Because the moment that you forget, you set yourself up for another
bombshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another grenade to be tossed.
Yeah.
If you're aware of it, if you're ready for it, then
yeah.
So Lala, sometimes you can't stop them from talking inappropriately because it's just cultural. Trust me. We have had inappropriate conversations that it's like, you do realize we got a young one in the room who we're talking about this.
Yeah, oops.
It's
terrible.
Like,
terrible. The kid just wants to disintegrate in their chair at the dinner table, whatever.
So, I live for watching A Christmas Story this time of year.
Is that the one with a boy?
That's one where the kid puts his tongue to the the pole and gets stuck. And
my brother did that once.
Which one?
Johnny.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm trying. He didn't do it twice. I'm just saying he seems stubborn enough.
Yeah, he's stubborn, but
I still got my tongue.
Yeah. He learns.
Oh, okay. Hey, the better question is
just experientially. No.
Yeah, did he do it for money?
No.
Was it a bet?
Maybe it was a joke.
Yeah,
he's that kind of guy.
That's what I wanted to make sure.
He was young. He was pretty young.
Oh yeah. So Merle Rasmussen's gonna be going to WizardCon next summer.
All right.
Awesome.
His games are so fun to play in.
Yes.
I love
Merle, good people.
His preparation for them and everything, like all the stories that he gathers and information that he gathers to like pull it off. And then it's all with Legos, like the getting of the markers or the game board, or sometimes he gives Lego to you so that you can, create your terrain or your town or your whatever is in your part of the town or whatever it is. And it's just really nice and really fun.
Yeah, he's a great GM. TXG has to go, so be good.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, have a good Thanksgiving. Tammy, Lala, my mother could fit in with that culture perfectly. Tom, oh God, East Asians know how to party. I love that. I trot out all the your family member is so fat jokes that I knew at 12 and I had to forget as an adult. Yeah, those your mama's so fat in the book of truly tasteless jokes, which
Oh, no.
my favorite were the leper jokes, but that's because I was reading Stephen R. Donaldson with the Thomas Covenant. That was a whole series about a leper. So it somehow that was like on my mind. What can I tell you?
Wow.
Yeah, this conversation really went weird now, didn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes you just can't. Tom, you can't stop them from talking because of inebriation. Well, that's everybody.
Right.
You know, listen, people who get thrown out or knocked down at your local bar are talking shit because of inebriation. That switch that says, "Hey, maybe I shouldn't say this." And now that can happen too at family gatherings. Somebody
Oh,
who
yeah.
drinks a little bit too much suddenly loses the inhibition of talking potential shit about somebody, and then
Or two.
yeah, I don't know, and then
To the wrong somebody.
it wrong somebody, and then shit hits the fan. I've never witnessed, but I've heard of family gatherings where they've come to at least physical shoving matches.
Yes.
You know, and that's never anything good because unlike a bar where you can say, "Well, I'm never going to go back there again," it's your family,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to get to that point. So I am not going to tell you turn the other cheek and just take the shit, but I am going to say think before you respond. Don't respond impulsively. Because I'm assuming everybody who's watching this is not going to be the asshole that gives somebody an unwanted opinion and states it usually as fact or you have to do XYZ because they know better. If you know what's going to happen, and usually we have an idea who's going to be that person. Maybe you can be the one that intercedes and stops them when they start going down that path, and maybe you'll be the one that keeps the family gathering in a better place. You know, blessed be the peacemakers. Maybe that's what. Wow, I'm quoting way too much today, Rach. It's almost like I'm spiritual. I gotta watch that.
What do you have in your I don't know how to say. When
you get touched,
right.
but not. Don't show me on the doll where you got touched, but when you get
like you're speaking in tongues or something.
Right. Well,
but not quite. That.
Before anybody thinks I'm crazy, I'm not going to discuss any of those incidents where I possibly, channeled something. Some people have really strong personalities, even beyond the grave, but that's another episode. Probably would have been best for like All Souls or All Saints
Oh,
Day.
yeah. For
wow.
yeah, definitely.
Oh, Lala. FYI, American size 6 is extremely rotten by their sizing chart.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
No, I don't think I've ever been a size 6.
Yeah.
Maybe when I was a little girl, but no.
In junior high school, I was husky.
Size 10, 12, and then up from there. I'd love to be a size 12 again.
Don, it's always good to take a deep breath and then move or speak. I am guilty of being impulsive sometimes. And I usually make a mistake when I act that way. Yes. I mean, I had an occupation where hesitation at the wrong moment can cost life, your own, and at the same time, acting too quickly, too impulsively, you might be acting on something in my other occupation that actually wasn't the threat you perceived it to be, which could be a whole other issue, or you missed the opportunity to diffuse something. Um, so there's that fine line. But when it comes to family gatherings, most likely you're not in a life or death situation. Most likely you're in a, oh geez, I want to punch
This
this.
is uncomfortable
Yeah.
situation.
And at worst, I want to punch this piece of shit right in the face. My God. If you're getting to that point, there is no problem with just saying, I'm walking away. Yep. All right. Yeah, whatever. Going to the bar and grab myself a glass of wine. Or yeah, okay. And you go off and you talk to somebody else. Because I'll be honest with you, if you want to piss off somebody who believes that they have the only answers, you walk away from them. That's how you win. You're never going to change the opinion of somebody like that. It's the reason why we don't discuss politics and religion at family gatherings, right? Or around the tavern. You're not going to change somebody's opinion in a 10-minute conversation. You are going to piss somebody off in a 10-minute conversation.
I mean, it's fine to like hear how people, do their religion, how they feel about it, or like, their spiritual,
that's fine.
connection, and
but that's
that kind of thing, and how they demonstrate it or how they experience it. We want to know about everybody,
but that's not discussed. That's not the discussion of religion that's going to happen.
But it's not. It's not that. It's my path, or it's my way or the highway.
Right.
Like,
oh, you're all a bunch of heathens.
Yeah,
that's generally.
It often doesn't tend to be, paths are many, truth is one.
When
kind of
like when politics comes up, nobody brings up politics and says, I'm open to this. I'm open to hearing your point of view. It's, your candidate is a piece of shit. My candidate might still be shitty, but he's better than your
he's
piece
less
of shit.
Shitty than yours.
Yeah. Damn it. And that's, listen, you're going to earn points with who? Yourself? And I'm going to say the word. You get into an argument like that, it's masturbation. Because the only person that you're satisfying is your own ego. Walk away from it. Okay? My personal opinion. Simply walk away. Alice, yes. Also, sometimes it's better to make peace and forgive the troublemaker because you never know if it will be the last time you get to see them.
Absolutely.
Holy shit! That is a horrible one, right?
It's like that question, like how important is it to engage this? Yeah, because because of that very question.
I mean, just in general, right? If you're watching this video, most of you are probably in your 40s and 50s if you're into old school gaming, right? Which means that we have a generation above us that are our aunts, our uncles, our parents, maybe older siblings. And do you really want to end the conversation bad? It's like you don't want to go to bed after arguing with your spouse and
not doing have it resolved.
Right. Do you want to do that with a relative? You don't know what tomorrow brings. So you can deal with stuff today. Try to avoid those arguments. I mean, I'm laughing, but Barbara one time pissed me off when we were getting her brother Carl into assisted living. That I had my mother with me, and I got to the point where I was going to pull the car on the side of a service road to a highway about 1.5 miles from our house and tell her to get the fuck out of my car. And as I started to put this turn signal on, I said, you know what? She can't help being who she is.
Right. This isn't getting fixed. We're not changing her.
Tossing her out of the car is not going to, it'll feel good. Don't get me wrong. It'll feel good. So
in
No,
the minute, but then
yeah.
later I'd be like,
So
oh.
we stopped at we dropped her off at her house. I said nothing when she got out. I drove the car a half block up the block, put it in park, and me and my mother in unison screamed at the top of our lungs. It was like The Exorcist with the vocal words that were coming out of our mouths. It was like, yeah, somebody with the worst case of Tourette's could not have done what we did. Especially hearing it from my mother, I was really impressed. But we held it in, and then we were good. Then we could laugh about it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes laughing about this is the best cure, the best way to handle it. It's like, oh man, can you believe what an asshole Uncle so and so was? Oh man, he was really pissing me off. And then I realized he's just an asshole. He can't help himself. Yeah, can you imagine having to live like that person day in, day out? Take the power away from it. When you let it eat you, it doesn't help you. It hurts you. Why give them that? Really. Um, I think Don, I missed. Oh, I covered that Don comment. Yes. Alice, holding hate in your heart only poisons you in the long run.
Yes.
Certainly.
Right. Forgiveness is for yourself, not necessarily the other person.
Tom, curse be the instigators. That's added from 1 Jedian 3.5. And I've been the instigator a time or two. We've all been the instigator a time or two. All right? Because,
I'm so sorry.
it's a Bible.
Is it Bible?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't understand.
Yeah. So, we've all been an instigator. The thing is, try to avoid being the instigator during these family gatherings. The holidays are meant to bring people together for joyful reasons, right?
Yeah.
Don't be the asshole that makes
Presents.
it. Yeah. Don't be the asshole that makes it where people have to remember that. Oh, can you remember Ken Crow? What a fucking dick he was. Did you hear the conversation he brought up? Yeah. What's up with that? I don't know. Maybe he's going senile in his 50s. What the hell? Nobody in their right mind. You don't want to be that one. So don't be it. Alice, she has to run. Always good to see you, Alice.
Thank you for coming so much.
It's
so
really
good to see you here.
Makes me smile.
Me too.
So
Miss you.
Yeah. No, just try to be the better person. And I think that you can really mediate a lot of this stuff before it becomes a real issue. Again, it's not an easy situation. And again, if you know that so and so is going to if Aunt One is going to bring up a conversation with, I don't know, nephew number 2, that's going to ruin the fucking event for everybody, then it's going to happen. Fucking stop it before it starts. Hey, listen, your opinions are important, but it's more important that everybody enjoy themselves. Do us a favor, hold that till the end, or why don't you call so and so in a day or two and give them. We don't all want to know what's going on with everybody. We want to have fun. We want to have enjoyment.
Right, we want to be with the essence of that person, like who that person really is. Out, the person that we love and enjoy being around, that piece of them. It's like, obviously, if there's somebody that we have that wants help, needs help, is open to certain things, yeah, but not everybody is, and they just want to be enjoyed for themselves and not whatever issue they're going through.
So
maybe just a day to not feel that kind of stigma, maybe.
There's a time and place for everything, and family gatherings generally isn't the time or place. My personal opinion. I could be wrong. So now, other than our topic of the day, our garden is doing great. Although, oh, look at that, we got the fingers going up. Our
Mhm.
garden is doing great. We just got 3 strawberry plants to replace the kale and the one butter crunch that just crapped out. But the mustard doesn't seem to be doing great, but it's not dying, so we'll see what happens with
We'll let him
that.
hang out.
We'll let it hang out, but we got the strawberries come.
Strawberries.
So
It's not gonna do nothing for me.
there it does. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's doing that, but I wanted.
What? You wanted fireworks?
Yeah, I wanted fireworks because it's strawberries.
You can get fireworks. But in any case, so strawberries are they're like quasi dormant, but they've got their root system. They've got some dormant greenage, so you should be getting.
It's almost like a cutting, right?
Yeah. So yeah, when you grow them, we grow them in the backyard. They're awesome, and so with these are full grown strawberries. You can also get strawberries that are like mini strawberries for the garden. Maybe we'll get them next. And
See
try
what
that.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then this week we have doc appointments. I get to see
Yes,
my
that's a vascular.
vascular.
Yeah.
They're gonna just check my circulation in my lower legs and my feet.
That's on Wednesday.
That's on Wednesday.
My oncologist, my med oncologist is Tuesday. And then I go for my scan for my thyroid. That's totally routine. That's like every year that we do that. To see, to check on the nodes nodules that are living in there.
Yeah.
They've been hanging out for a long time. So, we don't anticipate anything bad. So
No.
And then you have somebody else?
I've got nobody else because the other appointment wasn't made, so I'll probably have to make that one once we wrap up all your stuff.
Okay. And then on the 27th, guys, I'll be getting my first tattoos.
Yeah, they're gonna
age
be
52.
they're gonna be mapping Rach.
I go for my simulation at radiation.
Yeah.
So they give you like a CAT scan to like look at like laying in the position, I guess, where they expect you to be laying, so you're gonna be prone. And so they'll I don't know, they'll give me my little tattoo dot.
Yeah. Thank you, Don. Yes, we're thinking of you both. I'm sure everything will be okay.
Yeah.
So Tammy, we still, and I haven't checked them because we were gone, but we still had some green and yellowing tomatoes. Don't know. I don't think we got any frost. They might be going. And we had some yellow strawberries and more blossoms. I don't know if this stuff is going to come to fruiting, but yes, last week was our last raspberry of the season.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now
in November.
This coming year, we're going to try to keep on top of the blackberries a bit more.
Because those seem to grow out of control.
Right. But they also, they produce a lot of fruit, but you have to get on top of it real quickly or else the animals get them because they're so juicy. They are.
Yeah, I remember I was out there eating them off the vine, like this little animal.
You were the little animal. You little animal.
Well, there was one time where she was like, and then like I pulled them off and they were like kind of falling apart in my hand. I was just like, oh yeah.
Good. So, and we had a blueberry. That didn't survive. I do like blueberries.
The blueberry didn't catch on.
Nah,
for real.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did not make it.
What if we started in the raised bed? Like some of those guys, and they get them really strong and big.
Those are volunteers.
And then they get them started in there, like maybe some blueberries, and then transplant it. It's more strong.
Transplanting is always a little dangerous, but we will have another blackberry to put into the front yard because a volunteer reached over into our raised bed and then rooted. I was like, oh.
Where's the best place to grow the blueberries? Because I think it was just too small and it got stepped on.
There's a lot of weeds in that corner, so I'm gonna try to find another spot.
Okay.
Maybe part of the mint bed will become a blueberry bush. I don't know.
Part of the mint bed, like back here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got plenty of mint. We got so much mint. You can make mojitos for I don't know eons. Eeyores or something like that.
Mhm.
All right, so folks, look at that. We've hit an hour. Hopefully this was helpful to you all.
Even if it's just knowing that every family has.
Yeah, every family goes through this. Trust us.
Yeah.
It isn't just your family, it is all our families. We're all in this together. We are, let's see, we're getting close to Christmas, right? So
Mhm.
Thanksgiving this week. We got Christmas coming up in about a month and a week. In 5 weeks, it's going to be Christmas. And then New Year's, it's going to be a busy time.
Mhm.
You might want to plan accordingly. Forewarned is forearmed. Don't be like old Tenkar and do all your Christmas shopping like that last couple of days before Christmas, and then do your wrapping on Christmas Eve. And you have to miss like a family dinner because you're going to be wrapping as everybody else goes out to eat. Don't be that person. I no longer am, but because I married you.
Yeah. Don't wait to order my stuff, man.
Hey, I'm pretty good at. I buy stuff throughout the year now. You've noticed that? Holy shit! All right, folks. On that note, as always, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll the dice, roll them well. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video, and I expect to see many of you next Wednesday when Mike and I have our next live stream. All right, folks. God bless.
Take good care, and thanks so much for being with us.
Good night. Later.